Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Ribeiro-Wolfson. I am also an energy healer, an intuitive coach, a wife, and a mom to 3 boys. And yes, it's as crazy as you think it is. Almost didn't make it to the show today. Anyway, I'm here, and welcome to Fun Friday! Woo! Okay, I'm the only one who's excited about it. Maybe not. If you're excited, you can tell me too. And I just want to invite you at this time to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page. Go to Jumpstart for Change, smash that subscribe button, ding that notification bell so that you can watch every single one of these episodes if you so choose. Because, I'm here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and it is my pleasure to be here. And today is Fun Friday and it is the full worm moon. So it is the full moon and it is also the last full moon before spring. So that's kind of fun. It means spring is coming. Things are sort of starting to, there's this like newness in the air, this rejuvenation, this growth, right? And sometimes growth is uncomfortable. Sometimes, if you think about the seed, breaking through the soil, right? It has to fight a little bit. It can't, it's like it has to come up through the soil. So it has to kind of like, poke its way through. And that sometimes takes strength, right? And the seed that's planted is planted underground. It is dark. It is damp, probably lonely, right? And so then in the spring, the seed, feels that renewal, right? It's in the process and it starts to break apart, which can be very kind of tumultuous, right? We are all going through that breaking apart, coming out of our shell and then breaking through the earth. So you're probably facing some challenges right now if you are sort of coming out of the winter of this pandemic, our experience. Many people are sort of going through that period right now, but people are awakening. People are sort of feeling a little bit more hope, a little bit more focus, a little bit more motivation, right? The sun is shining. The days are lasting a little bit longer. Here in the Eastern Hemisphere, oh God, guys, I'm sorry. In the Northern Hemisphere, we are experiencing, spring and coming into the summer. Of course, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's reverse. So I don't know how that works for you and how it feels. But right now, certainly, I do feel sort of the first inklings of spring. So let us have set that intention when we do our intention in our little morning prayer. Let's set the intention that we can sort of experience the hope of, spring coming and use this full moon energy to release anything that doesn't serve us. I know I talk about that like literally every day, so much so that I've included it in the Me First Morning prayer because I think it's really important. I think that we are at a point in our lives where, we have added to our lives. We're constantly consuming. And I don't know if I've shared this on the show before, but I started thinking about it. I started thinking about the experience of a butterfly, right? The caterpillar to a butterfly, right? And the caterpillar, what does it do? It consumes. It's eating. It's getting big and fat and, ready for its transformation. But, it doesn't know that's what it's doing. It's just following its instinct to consume, right? Well, think about where this is a thought that we had. So, good morning, Meredith. A thought that I had. So let me know if this resonates with you. I was thinking think of where we are in terms of humanity, right? And okay, let's not even go to humanity. Let's look at the U.S., right? What is the U.S., constantly being sort of like, I don't know if it's shamed for, but people are sort of always pointing at the Americans being consumers, right? So think about that for a second, where we are, being sort of getting our fingers pointed at. And we all know we have this desperate need to consume more and more and more, or we had that desperate need to consume. And then the pandemic hit, and I think there was a little bit of a shift and transformation, and there was less consumption and more sort of streamlining of what's important, a little more focusing on our priorities, focusing on our goals, seeing, what it is how we want to live our lives after that kind of disruption, right? And so think about that in terms of the caterpillar to the butterfly. Consume, 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 and then it goes into its cocoon and just like lies on the couch, right? Or the caterpillar doesn't lie on the couch. What I'm saying is that, it kind of like mimics us. We consume, and then we had the pandemic where we're all stuck in the house, right? And we're all just kind of like, what's next? Thinking and processing, right? Now, of course, the caterpillar processes differently, but it's like everything falls apart. The caterpillar completely transforms. Its body turns into goo and mush. It loses half its weight. It's, so many things happen to the caterpillar, and it has no idea that this is happening. It doesn't know it's about to become a butterfly. It's, just succumbing to its nature, which was to consume, and then get into its own little bubble to process its own transformation. Well, I really believe that that's what we are all doing right now. I think humanity has been, consume, learning, taking in information, adapting, adjusting, growing and expanding. And now it's time for us to get out of our cocoons and step forward into the world in complete and total alignment with the highest version of ourselves, right? Which in the comparison or in the example of the caterpillar, it's the butterfly. And each one of us has our own unique butterfly self, right? We each have our own version of the butterfly within us where we know it's in us and we feel that it's in us. And a lot of people that I've been talking to have been feeling that power that's just kind of like under the surface, like some change is coming. And you may have already felt it in your life where things are falling apart. You're losing friendships, you're losing connections, and there's a lot of things that feel like a loss. And we are grieving that loss as a collective. Even that loss of hope that has happened for some people with, everything that's been happening in Russia, Ukraine, gas, you name it. You can't turn on TV or social media or have a conversation with somebody without there being some sort of heavy thing happening or some sort of conversation about these really dense experiences, these dense events, these dense feelings and emotions, right? And it's up to us to transmute all of that density and lighten it and add our own perspective and add our own transformation to the world, right? We transform and then we add the beauty to the world, just like the caterpillar goes through its own transformation. And then you have a beautiful butterfly that goes about doing its little butterfly business. And we get to watch and see nature just do its thing. And as humans and as people, when I see people really step into their own, I look at them and I'm like, my God, look at you blossoming. Look at you growing and expanding and really just shining. And that is the goal. And that is my goal, is to help you connect with all the parts of yourself that you feel is missing, and they're not missing. All the parts of yourself that you think are broken and need to be fixed, they're not broken. They don't need to be fixed. And instead, I want to help you sort of manage the energy or calibrate the energy around you so that you can thrive in any environment that you might be dealing with right now. Okay, so thank you for for your patience with my little diatribe. I just wanted to share those thoughts with you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether or not you think that's a good analogy or metaphor, if that helps in any way. And let's light our candle and do our morning ritual so we can get to some card pulling. Woohoo! Sarah, hi, good morning. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to light my candle. I'm going to go straight to the essential oils so that we can prepare ourselves, get ourselves grounded, do some deep breathing. And this way we can clear our vessel and connect, right? Connect with spirit, with our higher selves, and also charge up for the day. So good, so good. Woo! Here we go. Whew, it's a little hot. Spirit must be coming. Because I start to feel like, I don't know, it's either spirit trying to connect with me or menopause. I don't know, it could go either way. Maybe both. All right, so now that we've put on our essential oils and we're ready, let's take a deep breath and just get ourselves centered and feeling connected to the power of the universe. I know that sounds like kind of cheesy, but I swear, if you really take the time to connect, you can feel it. You can feel the energy running through you. You can feel the power running through you, the life force energy running through you. And that's what I want to help you with. I want to help you capture it, right? Just like you would go to to the beach and you would see like old school people using those like screens where it was like aluminum to make sure that they got the sun right in their face before we thought of sunscreen and things like that. I used to use baby oil. Do not do that anymore. But when I was little, oh yeah, I mean, not little, but late teens, early 20s, I think we were still doing that. Okay. Anyway, let's take a deep breath together. And I want you to open up the top of your head and I want you to just imagine that beautiful healing light coming from that sun, that powerful sun that literally charges every single living organism on the planet. I want you to imagine that the power of that sun is just entering into the top of your head and flowing through you like liquid sunshine and spreading through your whole body. And it is going to just dissolve or dissipate any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy. Anything that does not belong in your system, this beautiful healing light is going to come in and it's just going to bust it open and let it just spread and reabsorb into your system. So that you may feel the power of the flow. Okay, so let's do that. My essential oil. This one that I use is actually sacred frankincense. It's from Young Living, although I use essential oils from like all the companies that are reputable, I guess. But this one's my favorite, the sacred frankincense. This is the one I usually use when I do my Reiki healing sessions. Okay, so we take our deep breath. Let me grab my crystal spheres. You can put your hands on your lap, facing down, facing up, or in a mudra. You have it. Oh, I know. I love it too. It smells so good. Sacred frankincense is like one of my favorite essential oils ever. Okay, here we go. So let's take a deep breath together. And remember, the first thing we're going to imagine is our, head, the crown chakra, if you will, opening up and just flowing that beautiful sunlight into our bodies and just taking in that powerful healing light. Here we go. And hold. And release. Whew. Oh, I'm going to need those stretches after. Okay, let's take another deep breath. But this one, I want you to focus on your feet. I want you to plant your feet well into the ground. And I want you to imagine that there are roots coming from underground. And just like those budding plants that burst through the soil to grow and blossom and bloom in the spring, I want you to imagine that same earth force energy, that same life force energy, that power of Mother Nature. I want you to feel those roots coming through your feet and up your legs, and just imagine them also permeating every single part of your body and charging you up with the energy of the earth. All right, let's do that together. Deep breath in and hold and release. Okay, last one. Let's make it count. And I want you to really increase your breath. I want you to take in as much air as you can possibly take. And I want you to just imagine that you are receiving all of the love, light, and charging energy through your body. And I like to picture like the little lights on either side and it just going like, like a battery light, and it just go boop, 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 boop. I like to do that. So just sharing in case you want to do that too. Okay, deep breath in. And release. Whew, beautiful. All right, time to put the crystals down and time to do a little stretching. And those of you who watch my show regularly know that I always stretch my head and my neck because that's where I have most of my tension. But you can feel free to go ahead and just release the tension, discomfort, anywhere in your body where you're feeling kind of stuck. Just release it because we want to increase the flow, right? Just like I was saying yesterday with the hose, right? We're like a water hose. We want to take the kinks out of the water hose so that water can flow freely. Except in our body vessels, it is the energy that flows through freely when we take out the kinks, when we take out anything that's sort of like stuck there. So it's really good to just do some stretching. And that does help release some of that. Ooh, feels good. All right, and shake it out. Beautiful. All right, now let's set our intention together, and then I'll be pulling cards. So let me know in the comments if you want me to pull a card for you. I see Meredith and I see Sarah have commented. So I'm going to go ahead and pull cards for you if you guys want, right after we say our Me First Morning Prayer, which you guys can join me if you like. Don't forget to set your intention. And as I said earlier, you can either set the intention that we talked about, which is, to have the intention of that feeling of hope, right? It's such a beautiful feeling when you feel hope, because no matter what's going on in your life at the moment, when you feel hope, you feel the possibility of the future. You feel miracles. You feel you just feel the power, right, of the unknown. Instead of being afraid of it, when you feel hope, you're like, anything can happen, as opposed to, well, anything can happen, right? So you want that feeling. So let's intend for that feeling, unless you have your own intention, as well as let us ask for support that this full moon energy will help us release anything that doesn't serve us once again during this full moon cycle. Okay. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit guides, ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us to raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Oh, hello, Fatima. I'm going to be doing some readings. If you would like me to do a reading for you since you're watching, that would be great. Thank you. If not, that's okay too. All right. So here we go. Yes, I know, Sarah, you wanted one. Meredith, are you still here? Do you want me to pull a card for you? You know what? Since morning. Okay. Shall I pull for Sarah for? I started knocking on the book. I don't need to knock on the book. Well, I guess I could. Yeah, Fatima, you can do a reading for me right here. Just let me know what you feel. That would be awesome. Since I'm doing readings for other people, you could do a reading for me. That would work. All right. Meredith, since you were here first, I will pull your card first. Sarah, you will be next. And I'm excited. Oh, I'm using the Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light deck because I think we need them, I love to know who's supporting me during, different phases of my personal evolution. And so I like these Keepers of the Light cards because they always come with messages. And then they also have, one of the Keepers of the Light, which is, an Ascended Master or an Archangel or, just some high spiritual beings. And I love it. All right, here we go. I am shuffling. I really hope you guys have a nice weekend. It is Friday, and that's one of my favorite days of the week. I think it's just like from school, because it's not like my life is very different on Fridays. I mean, well, yes, Fridays, I do feel like the energy of the weekend, but my weekends, I'm a mom. My weekends, I don't relax. That's hilarious. Tomorrow I have 2 soccer games, haircuts, parties. I've got so much going on. It's not really a relaxing experience on the weekend, but I still feel that energy, the excitement of the weekend being here, the excitement of being able to, sleep in. Although not for me tomorrow, but maybe Sunday. I plan to sleep in on Sunday for sure. All right, here we go. Shuffling. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Meredith, you're first. I'm just going to move this mic a little bit. Okay. So we're just going to ask what you need to know for the upcoming weekend, and we're going to see who is with you and supporting you through this time. Yeah, right? Weekend sleep. Oh, yeah, exactly. At least I don't have to wake up at like 6:30. That's good. Not that I ever actually wake up at 6:30. No, I'm more of a, oh, crap, you guys have to get up and go to school before you're all late. I'm more of that kind of mom. Just be real. All right. Okay, here we go. Meredith. I love this for you. So look at the card. Here you go. Lord Shiva. Your card is transcendence. Ooh, that's a powerful card. I love it. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. I love that. So I'm going to read to you about Lord Shiva. So I'm going to get my little book because, as I've told you guys before, I don't know all of these keepers of the light. And I also like to read to you exactly what it says because then it'll give you whatever information you need. So here we go. Shiva is one of India's trinity of male god figures. He is depicted wearing a cobra around his neck, representing his capacity to tame fear or the ego, surrounded by stars, showing his connection to the cosmos, and holding a trident, acknowledging the three aspects of the divine masculine power in India: creator, preserver, and destroyer. He is known as the Destroyer because of his warrior-like energy and ability to destroy fear. He is a facet of the Divine Father energy and offers paternal protection, support, and guidance. He is acknowledged as the Cosmic Dancer because he helps coordinate the interaction between Earth and the cosmos. He has the capacity to help us move beyond the fear of failure and into clarity and connection. Oh, I love this so much. And so whatever is going on in your life right now, Lord Shiva is there to help you release the fears around shifting and changing things all around you. Now, clearly the whole world is going through a lot of changes. We have collectively gone through so many changes in the last couple of years. And I do see almost everybody that I know that I have, connection with or contact with, whether they be friends or family or clients. Everybody's kind of going through this transitional period and releasing the things that don't serve you as they come up is a great way for you to move forward. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to be facing certain things, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're facing things this weekend. It just means sort of as you move through life right now during this transitional period, you are going to be faced with, whether it's challenges or decisions. And sometimes we have to really bear the weight of those decisions, and it's hard to make a choice when you feel the weight of that choice. If you're making a choice that's going to affect your family, if you're making a choice that's going to affect your life, which in turn affects your family, those can be really hard decisions to make. And Lord Shiva is with you right now to help you release the fear so that when you are making those choices or when you are facing any challenge that comes up for you, it is so that you can make the choice and face the challenge from a place of love, right? Because when you're making a choice from the place of love, then you are making it from the highest perspective possible, right? Because you are trusting that you are loved, right? So that trust in the universe, that trust in the grand plan, that trust in yourself can get you through anything, right? So no matter what you're facing, if you know that you're covered, that the universe has your back, or that if you trust and have faith in your own ability to get you through whatever comes your way, using the support and love of Lord Shiva, for example, if you want to call and ask for his help. And I think that that's I love the divine masculine coming in here and removing the fear, because I sometimes also think of like Archangel Michael is coming to me right now, and he like slashes, any connections that don't work for you, right? And so you can imagine that, and I see that for you, like slashing the fear, right? Like removing it, just being like, I'm no longer going to live in fear. I'm going to live in my truth. Because if you're living in your truth, right, and you know what's true for you, and you know what you can count on in your life, and you move forward with the certainty and the confidence that you are headed in a direction that feels in alignment with your higher self, then those doubts and those fears start to just melt away, because you are not focused on the possibilities of failure. You are simply focused on how to move forward and get closer to that point where you want in your life. So is it really spot on? Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Of course, you can always reach out to me privately and we can talk further about this. But I think it's a fantastic card. So Transcendence, it's really, really a great card, especially when you're going through these kinds of transformational periods, because it is an indication that you are ready for transcendence. You are ready to dissolve any of those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from the future that you imagine. And you can bring that feeling into the present, and each and every day know that you are divinely guided and protected. Okay, I hope that helped. Thank you. All right, Sarah, you are next. And if anybody else is here and wants a reading, let me know, because if not, then we'll wrap up, not exactly on time, but close enough. I mean, I usually like to do my show till 10:30, but Fridays we always go a little bit over because Oracle cards are fun. Oh, you are so welcome. I love you. You're awesome. All right, here we go. Sarah, okay. I just want to make sure that the cards are ready for you. And what does Sarah need to know? And what kind of support does she need? Or what kind of support is she getting? Okay, here we go. I think the cards are ready to be pulled here. I love this card. Okay, here we go. This is Kali Ma, facing fear. I guess facing fears are in the air for everybody. All right. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. And I love this. Kali Ma is like a fiery mother figure. I will read exactly what the cards say about her so that you have an idea. Kali Ma is so powerful, but every time I see Kali Ma, it reminds me of sort of that like fighting spirit. Like when you think of, sort of like that mama bear, gentle and loving, but also fierce. Like, don't mess with me and my family or I will kick your butt. Kali Ma's got that kind of like, it's destructive in a loving way. Very much, actually, both. And Kali Ma's more in the feminine. Both Meredith and Sarah, your cards are definitely connected. Okay, but here, let me read what Kali Ma says here. Alphabet. Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. She brings old cycles to an end so we can experience transformation. She is strong, fierce, fiery, and powerful image of the divine feminine. Many have been intimidated by her, but she is a mother energy and therefore completely loving. She's like a fierce mother protecting her child from harm. She has a dark energy like the night sky, but it consumes fear and leaves only love. She's the twin flame of the god Shiva. Oh my God, I forgot there were twin flames. Oh my God, maybe you guys need to talk. I don't know. All right. She's a twin flame of the god Shiva and has even been known to slay his ego so that he can reveal his true loving self. I love this. I love that you got Kali Ma. So I will remind you to tell me what happened this week, and I cannot wait to hear it. So this is, again, all about dissolving fears. But this perspective, so unlike the Lord Shiva, which comes from the divine masculine perspective, which is a little bit more of sort of action taking, moving forward. It's a little bit more active. Kali Ma'a is not that she's not active, because she's very active. She's an advocate, but there's a different energy around her. And she is very much connected to that, darkness, but not darkness like scary darkness like the cloak of protection, right? Much like the night sky. And I really feel a strong connection between the full moon and Kali Ma'a. And this is a wonderful time for you to really take some time to think about, what has been stopping you. And this is what I'm being called, fear stops us. Fear very often stops us, but there is something in your life that really needs you to just release that fear, or maybe ask for Kali Ma's support so that you can pull that energy of advocacy, and not just energy of advocacy like we would advocate for other people, advocate for our children, advocate for our loved ones, but for ourselves, right? This is the energy of boundaries, right? Like you have to set up your bubble, right? And within that bubble, that energetic bubble that you keep around you, only, good energy, good people, good connections can be within that energetic force field, right? And you literally have to protect yourself. And I know that you're actually very good at sort of cocooning, but not just like cocooning and hiding, but literally like it is a much more, because and there's nothing wrong with cocooning and hiding if that's what you're called to do, because I just talked about this on, at the beginning of the show, that we've all been in that phase. But as you emerge, when you emerge with that clarity and that power, right, then you are emerging forward with a different kind of goal, right? You need to come forward knowing full well what your vision is for your future, and then protect yourself or build the boundaries around it so that it can thrive, right? And I used this example before, and I'm going to use it again. If you're growing plants in the garden and all of a sudden a bunny comes, you're not going to kill the bunny, so you put up a fence and you make sure that the vegetation can grow and flourish and bloom. Well, I guess, I don't know, do you say vegetation blooms? It can grow at its own pace without it being interrupted, right? And so that's your focus. Your focus right now is to create the conditions where you can thrive, create the conditions where your vision for the future can exist. You have to create the space. And so within that space, that vision can exist, and then anything else that does not support that vision needs to be eliminated and removed, right? And very often we're afraid because things change, and we're faced with sort of the realities or the potential consequences of certain decisions or of setting certain boundaries, right? There's uncomfortable conversations. There's relationships that may need to shift and change. There's, experiences that you may go through or not go through depending on the boundaries that you're setting. But stay clear and focused, and know that if everything that you do comes from a loving place, right? And it comes from a desire to be in alignment with your higher self, but not just that, because that sounds like be in alignment with your higher self, even though yes, but also it needs to come from a place where you can create exactly what you want, right? So it's like anything else. If you're gonna, cook something for dinner, first of all, you have to clean the counter, right? You don't want a bunch of crap on your counter when you're about to cook a meal. You want a fresh, clean counter. And then you have to put the things that you need. So you're like, okay, fresh, clean counter. First thing, declutter, remove any mess, right? Works in life too. Before you move forward, you got to clear out the stuff that you don't have room for. And then you bring in the ingredients, right? So whatever the ingredients are for your recipe, you put them at the table that you just emptied, right? So what that looks like in your life might be, certain people that support you. It can be certain, career moves that you might take. It may be, the way you do things. So you're adding those ingredients so that you can create the life you want. You're like, well, I need supportive people. I need, a focus. I need to do this with my time. I need, to plant the seeds of what I'm looking for. And so you bring in everything that you need so that you can take action. And then you start cooking, right? And then as you're cooking, right, you might add a little salt. You may need a little bit more. You might add some oregano, right? And so then you make adjustments as you go while you're cooking. Same thing in life, right? If you have a vision of what you want, right, then you already know, okay, I want this in my life. So you have to make sure that you bring those ingredients into the present so that you can cook with them, right? If you don't have the ingredient, well, how are you cooking with it? It's not going to be there, right? So if you're looking for peace, and that's in your recipe, if you don't bring peace or have no peace at your table, well, then how are you adding that, right? How are you going to have that at the end? How is the peace going to be in your dish if you didn't even use it as one of the ingredients? And that is exactly where we're at in our life right now, all of us. And this card was specifically for you, Sarah, but I believe that this is a message for anyone listening and anyone that this resonates with. You have to bring your ingredients to the table. You have to make sure that the table is clean and only contains the things that you want to put into your recipe. So when you are thinking about that, and you're not like, oh, what if I leave out the jalapenos? Then, or whatever, right? Like, then it's not going to have this flavor, right? Well, then add the jalapenos, or like, oh, should I add this? And that's how we are with our life, right? It's like, oh, somebody said that it tastes really good if I add some tomatoes. And somebody else said it tastes really good if I add garlic. And somebody else said it tastes really good if I add ginger. And, you can add all of those things or not. But it depends on what flavor you want. What do you want your recipe to taste like? What do you want the end result to be like? And then you can make your own decision about what ingredients you definitely want to include and what ingredients you definitely don't want. Like, for example, anything that contains cilantro is a no for me, right? And same thing in life. Any sort of people or situations that bring drama is a no for me. I made that decision many years ago. And I have been winning ever since. I mean, I don't mean I'm always winning, believe me. I just mean that I brought a lot more peace to my life when I stopped allowing drama to enter into my life and to take my time and attention, because I was contributing to that drama too, right? Okay, that's just my own personal example. Sarah, I hope that helped. I'm glad that something already aligned with the card. And anyone else who was listening, I hope that was helpful. If it resonated with you, definitely let me know. All of our choices from this point onward it would be to our collective benefit if we came from a place of love as much as possible. Really coming from a place of true connected love, like that love from source energy, unconditional love. Okay, you're welcome. You're so welcome. All right, everyone, that's it for today. If nobody else needs a card, I guess we will wrap it up. I will be here next week. I am here every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now, and please spread the word. I am really trying to get 100 subscribers to my YouTube channel, because then I can rename the channel as opposed to it being like a 5CYG, like whatever, like youtube.com/ like I'd like it to say Jumpstart for Change. So I need 100 subscribers. So if you know anybody that would benefit from watching the show, please go ahead and send them to my YouTube page, subscribe and ding that notification bell, and hopefully we'll have a few more people watching us next week. I am so grateful for your time and attention. I wish you all a lovely weekend. I truly love you and wish you the best. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.